There's Jimmy. Ed, feel free to jump in here anytime.
Kind of the 6 members of the Connecticut Valley Field Music. Next we have the Calvary United Pentecostal Church, John, which is showing a depiction of the church. And the church is led by Reverend Fred Dibble Jr.
Reverend Dibble up there preaching to his church group, and we've even got an organ on the truck.
Next is St. Peter and Paul's Church.
And Ed, I'll tell you, where can you get the best pierogies, Ed?
St. Peter and Paul's Church?
That's
or
right.
St. Peter and Paul's Bazaar?
St. Peter and Paul Bazaar. You know, Ed, the St. Peter and Paul float that we're seeing right now represents the church, which was established in 1925 by the Polish community of Wallingford. They have about 500 parishioners of all nationalities. The pastor is Father Daniel Carpia, and that car we're looking at is holding members of the Rosary Society, Mrs. Christina Part, Mrs. Mildred Rosick, and Mrs. Rosalie Shun-Kaley, as well as Bernice Penza. Okay, let's go over to Dee Cook, who is on the sidelines with another guest.
Mr. Struble, I want to congratulate you on your recent appointment.
Thank you very much. It's a very exciting time.
Certainly is. Now, as your fire chief, do you have very many units that are in this parade?
Yeah, we make up pretty much the whole last division, so the fire trucks will be coming through in about an hour or so, make up about the last division.
And I'm sure that you have to make plans for the event of a fire as well.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of people working today that aren't enjoying the parade to make sure that the town is still safe and covered, and they're all along the parade route covering for medical emergencies.
I knew that. Isn't it exciting to watch all these bands and all the floats and things that are going by?
This is really neat because I think I was about 6 years old when they had the tricentennial parade. And I came around the corner down there and I saw my 2 kids, and they looked just like I looked when I was 6 years old watching the parade.
Thank you for talking to me.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
And thank you, Dee, with our new fire chief, Peter Struble.
John, he was 6 years old. I was 19 for that tercentenary parade.
Hey, Ed, we have entered the 5th division, and leading it is the Connecticut Blues Drum Corps from Durham, Connecticut, wearing uniforms from the Indian Wars of 1861 through 1880. These are former state drum and bugle champions, Ed.
They have about 20 to 25 members in their full group. They began in 1975. They're from Old Saybrook, and they specialize in music from the late 1800s.
Are we reading the same thing? Because I'm reading that they're from Durham.
Well, I think it's the Old Saybrook side of Durham.
And next up, I think we can both agree, is the State VFW Honor Guard. Now, the Connecticut Veterans of Foreign War State Color Guard earned first place honors in the annual drill competition at the National Convention held in Kansas City, Missouri, not Old Saybrook, Connecticut. They earned the right to present the colors at the 100th playing to the Army versus Navy football game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Ben Lord is the state commander of the Veterans of Foreign War, which has over 153 posts and 28,893 members. They are followed by the State VFW Ladies Auxiliary, Ed, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about them real quick.
Janice Wiltshire is the state president of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Ladies Auxiliary. She has 86 auxiliaries with over 6,000 members. The color guards are carrying Major Raoul Lufberry's colors, and along with her 16 Veterans of Foreign Wars programs, she also promoted the Ronald McDonald House.
Now, Ed, directly behind the State VFW Ladies Auxiliary are the Pearl Harbor survivors. Now, these gentlemen are survivors of that day that went down in infamy at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Freedom is not free. 2,403 Americans died on December 7, 1941, and they passed the flag to the living to carry on the fight to preserve our freedom and the American way of life. Their motto is, remember Pearl Harbor, keep America alert.
And John, God bless them. They're still able to walk. They're in good shape.
And Ed, these two gentlemen are followed by the Iwo Jima survivors, excuse me. Among the many who fought to keep the world free from tyranny were the men on Iwo Jima who raised the American flag there on February 23rd, 1945. We applaud these survivors of that crucial battle. God bless them all.
Is this the Royal Lufberry Post? The Major Raoul Lufberry Veterans of Foreign Wars Post.
And Edward, maybe you want to tell us who we have now.
Next looks like the Major Raoul Lufberry VFW Post 591 here in Wallingford. The post is named for Major Raoul Lufberry, a World War II flying ace from Wallingford. The Lufberry VFW Post 591 Color Guard with Bob Anderson, Post Commander of the Color Guard, Scott Beecroft, Commander of Color Guard, and marching is John Rumi, Ray Sotnick, and John Cortez.
1965. The Color Guard, the captain of the Color Guard is
And Edward, accompanying the Color Guard are ladies representing various state auxiliaries. And as we look at the float, in the auxiliary float, 5,226 poppies were used. You know, it took 7 workshops with 8 to 17 members, approximately 150 hours. Riders on the float are members of the Ladies Auxiliary 591 of the Major Raoul Lufberry Post.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary. Oh, that's part of that, yes. This is Miss Loyalty.
And in front of us now, Ed, is Miss Loyalty. She is in a beautiful 1962 Ford Sunliner.
Samantha Houston, I believe, is her name, John.
That is correct.
I had such a wonderful conversation with Ken Dow from this next group. These are the antique veterans.
And Edward,
Color
coming up
Guard.
South Main Street now are the Antique Veterans, Post number 1, representing veterans of World War II.
102 years old from
And
World
one of these
War
veterans
I.
is 102 years old, Edward, from World War I.
Branch of the services
And I
is
see they're from,
represented by
Meriden.
this group. And there are members that come from every battle in World War II in both the Pacific and the European theater. I think that's wonderful.
As we just heard Lucille Trzynski, our PA announcer, state, the members of this group come from every battle in the European theater.
Wow.
Your country says thank you.
And you are watching Wallingford's Jubilee 2000 Parade. And John Sullivan, Ed McCarver, and the entire WPAA staff on hand to bring you this parade today. And we want to express a big old thank you to Roz Gallagher and Bert Killen for helping us bring you this parade.
And John, what an excellent job they did forming this parade. It took over a year to put this together, but they pulled it off, and we were blessed with good weather. Just an excellent day for a parade.
Absolutely. And we are up to the 5th division of this parade. And coming up now, Ed, we have the First Falls Junior Ancients, I believe.
From Yalesville.
That is correct. They were formed in 1995. They're under the direction of Rod Fulton. And did you know, Edward, that they're looking for members?
Oh, no, they didn't. I didn't know that.
That's right. If you'd like to be a member of this terrific organization, the First Falls Junior Ancient, and you're between the ages of 8 and 16 years old. Although, wait a minute. Some of these members look a little older than 16 to me, Edward.
Maybe it's 8 to 16 plus.
Well, that could be. Now, Edward, we incorrectly identified that group. That is the Westbrook Drum Corps. They were established in 1910, and they are members of the Connecticut Fife and Drummer Corps.
Which explains why they have members over the age of 16.
Absolutely. Is that our friend Bob Jenks?
I believe it is.
That certainly is on that Harley Davidson.
Now I believe we have the Yalesville group coming up, the First Falls Junior Ancient Fife and Drum Corps.
Well, let's talk about them again. What the heck? I want to thank all the great volunteers here at WPAA that helped us bring you this presentation of the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 Parade. Our President Sharon Keselowski, our Station Manager Russell Stiles, Catherine Robinson, who is on the switcher for us today, Walter Speedy Hoffman, as well as Jason Burkhart, Mr. Peter Foster, Mr. Ken Costello.
From Yalesville, founded in January 1995, First Falls Junior Ancients.
And Ed, if you want to talk about the First Fall Junior Ancients, go right ahead.
Yalesville, as you mentioned, formed in 1995 under the direction of Rod Fulton. And as you mentioned, John, they're looking for members 8 to 16. And if you're interested, call Rod Fulton at the Yalesville VFW for information.
And a couple of volunteers, which I left off, which have been incredible helpers at WPAA. Susan and Kurt Hunziger.
Yes, here.
Who have gone above and beyond to help put this parade on the air.
American Legion Post 73. They have their banner especially.
Now coming up, Edward, and I love when things go in order, you know what I mean? Is the American Legion Shaw signing Post 73. And you know, they had their banner made especially for the parade, Edward.
Oh, is that right?
Sure. The symbols are representative of all the wars, and everyone on the float is with Post 73. The commander, as we know, is Sally St. Pierre.
Our friend Sally St. Pierre, who was a guest on one of our talk radio shows.
Absolutely correct. American Legion located on. American Legion is located, I believe, on Prince Street.
Yes.
And now, Ed, what you're looking at is the WCBL posse.
Well, actually, John, if I could, they're led by members of the Massachusetts 54th Volunteer Infantry. And a couple of local people, David and Jason Cunningham, are in that group. And they'll be followed by the WPCL posse.
Now, Ed, as you know this group pretty well, I'm going to let you describe their history here in Wallingford.
Well, the WCBL posse is an African-American drum corps from New York. WCBL stands for Willie, Charles, Becky, and Leslie Smith, founders of the corps and descendants of Wallingford's Tony Smith, who lived in Wallingford and fought with the Massachusetts 54th in the Civil War. Tony Smith also founded the Wallingford Dreadnoughts drum corps. Let's listen to him, John. John, we should mention after the parade, the posse will have a ceremony at Captain Tony Smith's grave in the Wallingford Center Street Cemetery immediately after the parade, and the members of the Massachusetts 54th reenactors will join them. That's immediately following the parade this afternoon.
And you are watching WPAA's coverage of the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 Parade right here from South Main Street in beautiful downtown Wallingford, Connecticut. John Sullivan, Ed McCarver, and the entire WPAA staff. Very happy to have you here with us on such a wonderful day, Edward.
An absolutely fantastic day. It's gone by quickly. We're in division number 5 of a 7-division parade, and it's just been delightful.
And Edward,
I can't wait for Jubilee 3000, John.
Well, Edward, we might be in a different seat for that one. But yes, I'm sure that all these youngsters will continue this proud tradition, which was started many years ago. I believe the town was founded in 1670, and the pride has not stopped since. So a great day, a great time, and lots of parade left. And Ed, as we look down the street, I see the Silver Dolphins drill team from the Naval Submarine Base in Groton, Connecticut.
John, they are a rifle drill team, I believe, going through their paces. And here they are coming into view.
Silver Dolphins drill team from the Naval Submarine Base
Of course,
in Groton.
our Naval Submarine Base in Groton, been there for many years, and was one of the reasons why America won the Second World War, taking back the Atlantic Ocean from German U-boats.
And John, you can just see the tradition in this group here.
I look around, I see so many dignitaries at Yuri Fishbein, of course, our honorary parade marshal sitting down.
Reviewing stand is Roz Gallagher.
I see
and she
Ray
didn't want
Rise.
to sit on the reviewing stand, but she was
And now
instrumental in putting this parade
Lucille
together. and I think we
Trzynski
should give her a big hand.
Is introducing Roz Gallagher, who is such a dear woman and the daughter
She's
of
Russian.
Joanna Fishbein. And we think she is A-OK, don't we, Ed?
Oh, certainly. She was very helpful to us.
The town hall looks just beautiful as the backdrop for the reviewing stand.
And you know, I don't think Bert Killen has sat down since the parade started. He's definitely enjoying himself.
And here they come, the Silver Dolphins drill team from the Naval Submarine Base in Groton, Connecticut. And as they pay honor to the reviewing stand, Ed, those are the Silver Dolphins drill team from the Groton Naval Submarine Base. Now coming into view is the Wallingford Buick GMC truck. Wallingford Buick, of course, one of the sponsors of the Jubilee 2000 parade, doing business in Wallingford since 1915. That's 85 years, Edward.
Wow. 85 and going strong.
That's right, and I can remember when Wallingford Buick was located on the corner of North Colony, almost on the corner of North Colony and Center Streets.
Oh, really?
That's right. They had a beautiful showroom there. Just a terrific parade. Terrific parade. An honor to be here and bring you this parade on WPAA.
As we mentioned, John, there are 7 divisions in the parade, and this Wallingford Buick GMC will be the end of Division 5,
Next
and
we
will take
have
us to Division
representatives
6,
from
the
Wallingford Buick.
Civic
They've been doing
Community
business in Wallingford
Division,
since 1915,
with some
85
30 units,
years.
John, in this division.
Members of the automotive community of Wallingford.
And we should mention the commanders for Division 6, Ed Polanski and Jerry Kennedy.
Yes, that's the ancient.
And I believe first up in Division 6 will be the Ancient Mariners Drum Corps.
You're watching WPAA's coverage of the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 Parade. John Sullivan, Edward McCarver, as well as the entire WPAA staff, under a beautiful blue sky.
And John, I could hear the Ancient Mariners gunfire in the background. They're a very, very noisy group, although they're about maybe a quarter mile from our broadcast position
now we
here.
have people carrying the banner of another one of
And I'll tell you, Ed,
sponsors,
once again,
DiCello
it is a
Distributors.
gorgeous day for a parade. I guess we can't say that enough.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better day, both for, as I say, for the marchers and for the spectators.
And as you said earlier, Ed, we are going
Behind
to
them are the
Division
commanders
6,
of the
and this will
Division at
be the
Polanski
Civic and
Jerry
Community
Kennedy.
Division. And this is a very large division. It'll be led off by the Ancient Mariners Drum Corps.
Very noisy division too, John.
Well, they've got that big cannon, Ed, and I'll tell you,
Okay, watch your women and your children.
that was pretty loud.
The Ancient Mariners of Connecticut.
Ancient Mariners are from
Well known
Guilford,
throughout the
Connecticut.
state for their high kicks
They were
and
established in 1965, and they have performed in Ireland, Switzerland, and they are under the direction of Kevin Brown.
And John, if I can interrupt, the Ancient Mariners have hijacked Bert Killen. They put him in front of the cannon.
Davy Jones, the president of the Ancient Mariners Drum Corps. And let's listen. And Edward, coming up in front of the reviewing stand, the Wallingford Elk and Emblem Club. Now, Benevolent Protective Order of the Elks of the United States was established in 1868. The Wallingford Lodge, established in 1919. The Elks is a charitable and patriotic organization opening many events that involve youth, such as soccer shoot-o and the hoop shoot, where values are taught as well as skills. The Elks is the key sponsor of DARE, the well-known drug awareness program. And you know, Ed, the Elks are the second only to the U.S. government in awarding scholarships.
I didn't know that.
They did. And last year, they gave out over $12 million in grants. And you know, Ed, although by mandate the Elks must celebrate Flag Day, the Wallingford Elks go well beyond that mandate and have each year a wonderful parade and a moving ceremony conducted by their past exalted rulers and officers. In that same patriotic spirit, the Elks raise funds for hospitalized veterans. Their motto, so long as there are veterans in our hospitals, the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elk will not forget them.
And they do a great job too.
John, the Elks are led by past district deputy and past exalted ruler Jim Foley. The Elks began admitting women in 1998, and this coming Tuesday will have 14 women members. The Wallingford Emblem Club number 289 is the ladies' auxiliary of the Elks and works closely with them.
Tarantino, she used to walk, now she rides.
And Ed, here comes the
Daughters of the American Revolution, Susan Karen.
Wallingford Rotary Club on that big old wagon and hay bale float. The Wallingford Rotary Club is one of Wallingford's great service organizations with their chicken barbecue, a townwide event every August. You know that, Ed. I've been there. I'm sure you've been there.
Yes, I have. It's a very nice event.
And the Rotary Club continues to provide scholarships and grants and other funding to international and local groups and individuals. Rotary's latest gift of $250,000 to fund the YMCA Teen Center is just one outstanding example. And I'll tell you, I'm kind of hungry. I wish they had some chickens right now.
Well, John, I think one of their meals is up on the reviewing stand.
Uh-oh, get that chicken.
Continues to provide scholarships, grants,
Get into the grill there, chicken.
funding to international
And thank goodness they've got him down because, Ed, August is right around the corner.
$150,000.
And I want my barbecue.
At the Y.
I'll be seeing that leg on my plate before long.
That is one wascally chicken. Well, Ed, coming up now is the Spanish Community Club with band, a great Latin American theme with flags of Latin America. The Spanish community helps newcomers to become acclimated to a new way of life and to become self-sufficient members of the community. And on a byline, Ed, after the parade, the Mexican members of the group will be performing on the parade ground. So, very good, and a beautifully colored float. I mean, that float is just gorgeous.
And again, you can tell a lot of work went into that float.
Absolutely, and following behind are the Mexican folklore
Ballet.
ballet of Wallingford. Very good, and look at those festive costumes. They're absolutely beautiful.
After the parade, the Mexican members of this group
Very
will
nice.
be performing some of their
Now, coming up
country's
behind
dances
the Spanish
on
Community
parade
Club
ground,
with
right
the
in front
band
of the former
are the
American
Wallingford
Legion,
Compass Lodge
post
9
building.
Masons. Now, Compass 9 is located right here in Wallingford. And again, to become a Shriner, you must be a Mason, Ed, and a 32nd degree at that. So this is a great start. If you want to look into joining the Shrine, you must become a Mason first. And this is a wonderful organization who helps with
They
scholarships,
also help with the DARE program.
and they also assist in the DARE program for youth. And here are the Masonic and Geriatric Healthcare Facility buses, which is just one part of Masonic life. Of course, the lovely Ashlar Village, right off of Cheshire Road here in Wallingford, Connecticut, Ed.
A very
The Knights
very
of
nice
Columbus is
place.
next. The Catholic Fraternal Organization. The year 2000.
And now coming up are the Knights of Columbus, Christopher Columbus Assembly. And Ed, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that.
The Christopher Columbus Assembly, the Knights of Columbus, is a Catholic fraternal organization, John. The year 2000 is the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Knights. Wallingford Council, Pinta number 5. The Knights raise money for unwed mother shelters, help children through Catholic relief, and help major supporters of the Special Olympics. The faithful navigator is Lucien LaRose.
Another sponsor, the
Nice job, Ed.
Auto Group.
And now coming up is the Stony Creek Drum Corps from Stony Creek, Connecticut. I don't know if they like to be called, they're part of Branford, I would assume. But they were formed in 1886, and they are members of the Connecticut Fife and Drummers. And if you've ever been to Stony Creek, Ed?
Yes, I have.
It is a lovely community. Most famous for its puppet house.
Yes, the Puppet Theater, which just recently reopened under a new name this past fall.
And now coming up is the Quinnipiac River Linear Trail Advisory Committee that was formed in the fall of 1997 to create a safe and scenic trail along the Quinnipiac River for all ages to enjoy, and they're well on their way. They've just completed phase 1, so congratulations to them. And as you can see, one of the committee members is the, Walt Speedy Hoffman's wife, the lovely Lynn Hoffman.
Congratulations.
And you know what? Phase 1 is just under 1 mile long, and it is done.
And once the trail is completed, it will connect to a similar linear trail planned for Meriden.
That's right.
Next comes the Wallingford Junior Women's
Coming up
Club.
now is the Wallingford Junior Women's
They were
Club,
established
and
about
that was established about 45 years ago.
They're
And
also a
I seem to be
service
mimicking our
organization.
TA announcer, Lucille
Spending
Trzynski.
volunteer time
But I'll tell you
with
what, they
things
are
for the
looking to continue
community.
their good works and fun in the future. The Wallingford Junior Women's Club celebrating 45 years.
And John, their float is entitled 2000 and Into the Future.
And Ed, I would duck if I were you, because coming up is the Wallingford
They are,
Public
it says,
Library,
a major
and I'm sure you have an
sponsor
outstanding
of
book
the
somewhere in the house.
Saturday and the children's book
Our
club.
wonderful public library, Ed, under the direction of Leslie Shearer and Karen Roaster.
Next comes the
Go there to
Wallingford
find
Public
Mother Goose,
Library,
Cookie
our
Monster,
wonderful
Arthur,
public
Cat in the
library,
Hat,
under
Mary
the
Poppins,
direction of Leslie Shearer and
Harry
Karen
Potter,
Roaster.
and fairy godmothers. You know, the great kids marching, Ed, along are bookmasters of the Millennium. Did you know that?
Very nice. No, I
Ed,
didn't.
are you listening
No,
to
I
me
did
here,
not.
Ed?
Well, I didn't want the librarian to see me, so I was trying to keep a low profile.
Do you know the Wallingford Library, Ed, was established in 1881? That's a year after the year you were born. And it's been at its present location since 1982. Prior to that on, well, I believe it was at, about 80 North Main Street.
Yes.
Next comes the PNA.
Here is the Wallingford PNA 513 with the band. The PNA Alliance is a fraternal organization. The local lodge is celebrating its 100th anniversary of the National PNA, granting full rights and privileges to women. And Ed, the PNA Alliance began with two major objectives: to serve the best interests of the Polish immigrant and help Poland in its struggle for freedom, independence, and economic advancement.
And John, let's give a plug to Ed Zolkowicz Jr. and the Crystal Airs performing on the back of that float.
Capital campaign to expand and better accommodate the families of Wallingford in every way.
And here's your family YMCA, and that's a beautiful Hummer vehicle. Now, the Wallingford Y is kicking off their capital campaign to expand and better accommodate the families of Wallingford in every way. From toddlers to teens to seniors, the float displays its main theme, which reflects the Y's philosophy: caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Ed, can I have my wallet back? They are promoting Campaign 2000 in partnership with the community. On the float will be members of their preschool, school activities, and swim team. Congratulations and our best wishes for success to the Wallingford YMCA.
Where is Nancy Roth? I tried to call you last night.
And that's a beautiful float, Edward.
Boy, it is. It sure is.
What a great float from the Y.
The Wallingford YMCA.
Coming along next is the Wallingford Yalesville Lions Club.
Looks like our director, Ken Costello, fell asleep on the sidelines here, Edward.
Organization dedicated to community betterment and student scholarship.
Well, he's probably mesmerized by all the action. I'm sure he's enjoying the parade as much as we all are.
Ed, here's a beautiful float. This is the Wallingford Yalesville Lions Club, yet another great service club. The Lions Club raises money through various events to help provide help to those in need. We got a typo here? I guess not, but the Lions Club does provide help to those in need. They're specifically dedicated to helping those with vision problems. You've probably seen the eyeglass hoppers.
Return your old eyeglasses at different places, yeah. That's all a Lions Club sponsor. This is the Hungarian American Club's float with the, are those Clydesdales, John?
I believe they are, Edward.
I'm so used to seeing them pull the beer wagon. I wasn't sure.
You know, Ed, the Hungarian Americans in Wallingford have been here since 1896.
John, now we have the New Britain High School Band. The Golden Hurricanes of New Britain participating in the parade. They're one of the oldest high school bands in the state, John, although they all look to be about the same age.
Well, let's listen and see what they have to play for us today, Edward.
New Britain High School Band, one of the oldest and largest high school bands in the state. The Golden Hurricanes, one of the only area high school bands we can get here today, boy. Let's enjoy it. The Golden Hurricanes.
Hurricanes with Cruel Summer.
Very good. The finest of New Britain.
Terrific. Golden Hurricanes from New Britain, Connecticut. Ed, there's an awful lot of Golden Hurricanes out here.
Awful lot of talented Golden Hurricanes out there.
You betcha. Great job by the Golden Hurricanes. Now, Edward, coming up is the Wallingford Senior Center. And the mission of the Wallingford Senior Center is to provide services and programs for old adults of the Wallingford community that enhance their dignity, support their independence, and invite their involvement in community life. Our minibus highlights some of the activities and programs that the Wallingford Senior Center currently offers. The new facility, now under construction, will allow the Senior Center to expand services and programs in the new millennium. Some of those programs that include computer classes, nutrition, health and wellness, social services, and outreach.
Now begun construction of its new facility, so their services can be expanded with greater programs into the new millennium.
So some pretty exciting stuff, Ed.
Boy, it sure is. It sure is.
And Ed,
Coming along are the dancing
not for nothing,
dollies.
but
they were given their
coming
name,
up now
I understand, by
are the
anti-veterans
dancing dollies.
that you saw before. They were
and you know what? They were
formed
formed to promote RSVP, the Retired Service Volunteer Programs.
Volunteer programs. They work under the concept that seniors
And
are
I'll tell you,
vital
look at
and
those
active.
dollies dance.
This group is part of New Britain.
They are absolutely getting jiggy with
It
it.
looks like an aerobics class. I like
And they
that.
volunteer to help any nonprofit agency that needs them. Any young over 55
You know, the concept of the dancing
person
dollies
can
is
join
that
them.
seniors are vital and active. The group is part of New Britain, Southington, Berlin, Meriden, and Wallingford.
New offices in
And they
Meriden.
volunteer to help any nonprofit agency that needs them. Anyone over 55 can join the Dancing Dollies, if you can swing your arms like that, I guess.
Forever young, right.
And you know they're in shape, John, because this is near the end of the 1.7-mile course, and they're not even breathing hard.
All right, let's go over to Dee Cook, and Dee has with her our good friend Roz Gallagher.
Pride is right.
So let's go over to Dee Cook right now. I don't think we have...
Roz, I know you've been very, very instrumental in this whole wonderful parade today. Tell us about it.
Well, it's been an event of a lifetime. I've worked with some of the finest people I've ever worked with, and they're all residents of the town of Wallingford. And we've been able to put together a number of civic and community, church, organizations, school groups, the children, everybody that makes Wallingford the great town that it is to live in, but especially the children, and especially the opportunity for our local schools to appear twice this week in a parade for the benefit of Wallingford.
That's true, and they did such a wonderful job on all of the floats, and the bands are wonderful.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. And we're also glad that the people turned out to see the parade, because that's what really makes the event a success, is the people that participate in it and the people that enjoy it. And put those two components together and you can't miss.
No, you really can't, but having people like you who you're following in your mom's footsteps.
Well, my mother left a great legacy with this town of Wallingford, and it's nice to know that Wallingford still respects the good that my mother did in this town and enjoys the same spirit of community that Mom infused.
That's absolutely true, and I want to thank you for talking with me.
And that was the lovely Roz Gallagher with our Dee Cook on the sidelines. Great job by Dee.
Very, very nice by Roz. Roz did put a lot of work into this, and she deserves a lot of credit.
Edward, coming up now are the Visiting Nurses Association, organized as the Community Nursing Service and Wallingford Tuberculosis Relief Association. Wallingford's own Visiting Nurse Association has been providing service to the community since 1919. For 91 years, Wallingford has depended upon the caring staff of their VNA for home care and community health services. We proudly salute the many dedicated town residents who have served on the agency's board of directors, the competent and understanding business and support staff who work behind the scenes to ensure that the agency runs smoothly. How fortunate we are, Ed, to have the Visiting Nurse Association of Wallingford care for the residents of this great town.
They're a fine organization.
And Ed, I'll let you introduce this next group.
John, this is the Mark T. Sheehan High School Band under the direction of Fred Rosamondo.
The Fred Rosamondo?
The Fred Rosamondo. They have about 75 members marching.
Fred Rosamondo.
Fred, who taught music at Moran before moving over to the Sheehan High
A
School.
longtime Wallingford physician.
And Fred, you could probably see, well, just out of the lower left-hand corner of your screen.
Well, let's take a listen, Ed. And the Mark T. Sheehan High School Marching Band.
The Sheehan Titans
Sheehan Titans, Ed.
of Fred Rosamondo.
And here is Mrs. Connecticut International, Deborah Hoyt. And no, Ed, she's not leaving her husband for you. Deborah with her two beautiful children.
Deborah, who lives in Durham.
Its mission is to encourage the preservation of Wallingford.
And here's the Wallingford Historic Preservation Trust, Ed. And the trust was founded in 1991 by Jerry Farrell Jr., a member of the town council. Its mission is to encourage the preservation of Wallingford's historic buildings. It currently owns 5 Wallingford buildings: the Muddy River Schoolhouse, the Yale House, the Blakesley House, not Kenny Blakesley, I hope, the Royce House, and the Johnson Mansion. The Royce House is the oldest surviving structure in Wallingford. And I'll tell you what, you can find out this information on the Wallingford Preservation Trust website. And if you go just to www.wallingford, you can check that out. And let's go over to Dee Cook for a moment, because I think she has, well, we're just going to be a moment. I think Dee has a youngster with her that she would like to talk to. Let's see, are we ready for that? We're not ready for that yet. Oh, I see she has Bob Parisi, but here comes Big Bob, one of our all-time favorites.
One of our friends.
Dee, let's go to you and let's talk to Bob Parisi. Dee setting up her own shot here.
Bob, as our wonderful council chairman, you must be so impressed with all of this.
It's beyond belief. Wallingford outdid itself as usual. Standing parade.
It is. Everything from the school children to the floats to everything that you can see here.
It's amazing. And to see you and Wallingford Public Access just tops it off.
Well, we had a very good crew that was putting all this together to videotape it.
You always do, and I'm good to see John Sullivan up there. He's a colorful guy, isn't he?
Very colorful and very instrumental in organizing all of this.
I just think this is a day that Wallingford will certainly remember, Dee.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Bob.
A very good job by Dee Cook and our dear friend, Bob Parisi, Ed, who we really love. He's been a terrific guest on Connecticut Talk Radio, and he has a heck of a sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
Eddie, in front of us now is the Connecticut Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps. And they're from Oxford, Connecticut. Jimmy Nestor is their director. And they will be playing a tune that is dedicated to Joanna Fishbein. So we're going to turn off the mics, and we're going to enjoy this, Ed. This one's for Joanna Fishbein. in a moving tribute to Joanna Fishbein, the beloved Grand Lady of Wallingford. That was the Connecticut Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps. And I'll tell you what, Ed, there is not a dry eye on that podium.
Bravo, bravo.
From Oxford, Connecticut, the Connecticut Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps, under the direction of Jimmy Nestor. Now, Edward, coming up now is the American Red Cross hearse. And I don't want to say anything, Ed, but the guy on the hood looks a lot like you. You know, the Red Cross has been involved in times of need for over a century, Ed. Their terrific programs are available at all times, and their blood drives are always worthwhile to participate in. Be a blood donor. It's easy, and you'll be helping in an important way. We love the American Red Cross. Please call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to become a blood donor and save a life. You'll feel good.
John, the Red Cross has 5 vehicles in this part of the parade, including this last one that you're seeing now, the ERV, or Emergency Response Vehicle. And of course, that hearse you saw in the beginning, you could see in the Trail of Terror this fall.
Well, they'll be picking you up after the show, Ed. Can't say enough about the great work the American Red Cross has done for a number of years. And here comes the Dunhill Staffing Systems. You know, the Jubilee 2000 Parade would like to give a special thanks to the Dunhill Staffing Systems, Ed, because they printed up everything we're reading off of right now.
Wow.
Very generous, very giving to this Jubilee 2000 committee and to the Wallingford, the town of Wallingford itself. Thank you, Dunhill Staffing. And Ed, after the broadcast, maybe they can get us a job.
Yeah. Will they type my resume for me?
Possibly.
Groups of families banded together, traveling west to conquer new lands.
Well, John, now we have the Hazelwood Associates float, which is the covered wagons. Now, covered wagons were used in 1800 for long-distance transportation. Groups of families banded together, traveling west to conquer new lands and enrich their lives. Now, most wagons were pulled by oxen or horses. Formerly owned by a man in Middlefield, the Hazelwood family has owned these wagons for the past 35 years. The Hazelwoods are direct descendants of William Andrews, one of Wallingford's original settlers back in 1670. The 4th generation of Hazelwood children are in the float. That antique John Deere crawler tractor is a 1957 model 420C.
And that's a beauty, Ed.
John Deere has built farm equipment since the 1800s. The Hazelwood family has 7 of these antique tractors.
That's too many. They ought to give me one. Great job by Hazelwood Associates. And Ed, coming up next is the Wallingford Historical Society. And you know, they're known as Wallingford's Attic. Did you know that, Ed?
No, I didn't. I can see why, though.
They were formed by a group of concerned citizens, and they own the Samuel Parsons House on South Main Street. You know, its mission is to collect and preserve the artifacts pertinent to Wallingford's cultural history. And Connecticut Talk Radio probably will never be in the Wallingford Historical Society exhibits, Ed. Our horse here is representative of Misty Meadow Farm.
Kind of a nervous horse. Must know the Belmont's coming up in a week or so.
And coming up now are the Wallingford Housing Authority seniors in some very colorful and patriotic dress. The seniors resident of the Wallingford Housing Authority know that the best is yet to come. The Housing Authority, Ed, provides housing and rent to the elderly and families as well. And where would we be without these wonderful elderly folks, Ed?
And John, they have a lot of spirit, as you can see.
Pretty sharp there for seniors.
They also have a wonderful pool table in their community center, Ed.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, sure, I play them for quarters. No, I'm only kidding. Ed, here comes both of our alma maters, the Lyman Hall High School Band, and very proud of those roots, as I'm sure you are.
Yeah, Richard Sansucci, the director of the Lyman Hall Band.
High School Band.
The Lyman Hall Trojans.
Well, let's sit back and listen. And a great performance by the Lyman Hall High School Marching Band and your Grand Ole Flag, led by Director Richard Sansucci. Outstanding performance, Edward. Outstanding.
Very good band. Actually, all three high school bands we saw today, John. The Golden Hurricanes and Sheehan and Lyman Hall. Excellent performances.
Absolutely impressed, Ed. Absolutely impressed. Coming up now, Ed, is Deputy Chief Guy Casanova in Car 2.
And this is the 7th and final division.
No.
Sad to say, Ed,
Deputy.
it is.
Deputy Chief
Boy, it
Guy
did go by quick, didn't it?
Casanova. A recent promotion. I almost slipped up, Guy.
John Andrews is the commander of this division, and Guy Casanova joining us here.
I understand Guy was just promoted to the position of Deputy Chief, so congratulations, Guy, on your promotion. You represent Wallingford's finest.
Another Lyman Hall alumnus, I might add. I remember Guy from school.
Company
Now,
one,
Ed,
the Wallingford
right
Career
behind Deputy Chief
Firefighters.
Casanova's car is Truck 1 of the Wallingford Career Firefighters. And I'll tell you what, if something happens to your house, you want these fellas there. That is one beautiful piece of equipment.
There's some impressive looking vehicles on your screen now, John, all this fire apparatus.
I'll bet you there's some
Company 3,
heavy
Yalesville
car
Volunteer
payments
Fire
there.
Department.
Coming up now is Company 5 of the Yalesville Volunteer Fire
I'm
Department.
Sorry, it's Squad 5.
You're going to be looking at Engine
Yalesville
5
Volunteer Fire
and
Department.
Squad
Engine
5.
5.
And for the most part, Ed, these are Pierce fire
Oh,
trucks built by
Bertillon's an honorary
International.
member of this department.
The pumpers. You're watching the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 Millennium Parade. John Sullivan, Ed McCarver, and the entire WPAA staff. A presentation of WPAA.
On the reviewing stand is Fire Chief Peter Struble. Somewhere.
Now Ed, coming up, the North Farms Volunteer Fire and Rescue.
The North Farms Volunteer Fire Department.
Some
They start
future
from young
volunteer
over there.
fire people holding that banner, introducing this truck.
Located on Barnes Road, I believe
Chief Tim Wall.
the chief is Tim Wall of the North Farms Volunteer Fire Department. Of course, Ed, two volunteer fire departments have unfortunately
This division is known for its rescue work.
are unfortunately gone. That are the Cook Hill station slated to close or has closed, and if you remember the Tracy Volunteer Fire Department
Yes, I do.
up on Old Colony Road.
Jerry thinks this is the only white fire truck in Wallingford. Yes, it is.
And coming up is a beautiful Ford Model A.
Jack Augusta in the car. antique.
Beautiful antique car.
See? That's a Model T Ford.
And here comes Sound Spectrum, Ed. Sound Spectrum Entertainment for all your DJ needs.
Sound Spectrum Entertainment.
And I see Sound Spectrum host Johnny Roz working the crowd over there, probably just to the left of your screen, to the left of the truck.
You know, I remember Johnny Roz when he used to cut hair, Ed. He was into this disc jockeying, and he made it a career. God bless him. He went for it, and it's treated him very well, I'm sure.
Yep, it's paid off for him. He's a talented man.
Relative of yours, Ed? And there is the Raven mascot. And he is really getting jiggy with it. That's Raleigh. Raleigh is here representing the New Haven Ravens. Good job, Raleigh.
Oh, I love that!
Looks like the East Wallingford Volunteers are joining us next, John. It's established in 1944.
Their chief is Joe DeCanto. They're located on Kendracky Lane. And Ed, I don't know if years ago you remember, they used to be up on Whirlwind Hill Road until they relocated to their brand new firehouse on Kendracky Lane.
No, I didn't know that.
Assistant Chief Bill Salata. You're looking at some of the beautiful fire apparatus of the East Wallingford Fire Department.
Engine 8
That is Engine 8.
and Tanker 8.
Followed by Tanker 8 and Squad 8. It's nice to know if you ever have an emergency, a fire at home, these volunteers are more than ready to jump in their cars or their fire trucks and help you out.
Definitely, definitely. It's state-of-the-art equipment. It's nice to know the town has them.
And Ed, remember, these are unpaid. These are totally volunteers willing to risk their life to save you. Beautiful ladder rate going by now. And here comes one of the sponsors of today's parade, the SciTech Fire Brigade.
Next comes the fire department from SciTech.
It's nice to know that
I didn't even know that
a company
had a fire department.
the size of SciTech has their own fire department, well trained and well respected.
Which is good to know in case in our Little League game of the week, if a microphone should catch on fire or something like that, they're there for us.
Of course, we're very grateful to SciTech because they're such wonderful
Chief Ed
contributors
O'Neill.
to the Wallingford Little League. Thank you very much, SciTech. And Edward, I'm almost afraid to say, but we're getting down to the end of the parade.
Yeah, just a few more vehicles left, and I think the curtain will draw down on Jubilee 2000.
Well, coming up is the AA Transportation, and they have 2 antique buses. These buses go back to the 1940s.
There goes Bill
And Ed, who
Gallagher,
could
who
forget
was
that
supposed
old,
to be on the
big
reviewing
old
stand.
Pepsi-Cola bottle cap?
I'll tell you, John, you know what flashed through my mind when I saw that antique bus?
What's that?
Ralph Cramden.
Yes, very
Bus
good.
driver.
Very good.
SciTech's emergency response unit.
Beautiful old buses.
Here we have AA Transportation. A couple of
And I believe this one was used in Hartford. It has as its destination the old State House.
On the top says the old State House. Oh my
Of course, AA
goodness.
Transportation, the company we entrust to take our children to school and back home again.
1953 bus.
Very honored to have them in today's parade. Of course, they're going to be putting these in the garage very soon, Ed, as school will end on June 20th.
It's funny how you don't notice the changes until you see them like this lined up. And the 63 one is going to
Here comes a
Palisades
1963 bus. These are Thomas buses, Ed. They're made by International, but they're Thomas buses.
Going to this particular one's going to Palisades Park in New Jersey, which I remember well.
I'm sure in that bus will be a bumpy ride. And here's our modern day bus, complete with ceiling vents, emergency exits,
Safety stop sign.
and bringing up the rear of our parade,
Next comes
Punksky's Garage. And you know what? They've been in business 50 years already. It's a family-run business located on North Colony Road, owned by Wayne Plunksky. The garage is specializing in heavy and light-duty towing and recovery, also general repairs and used cars.
And John, is that a state-of-the-art tower?
Well, Ed, I'll tell you, that is a beautiful, beautiful truck. That is a big diesel International.
It almost make you wish you want to be towed seeing a truck like that.
And putting the finishing touches on our Jubilee 2000 Millennium Day Parade is the Hunter's ambulance and emergency truck.
We hope you enjoyed our parade.
Well, Ed, it has been a terrific, terrific parade. And we have just been so honored to bring it to you here at WPAA.
John, I think it was the fastest 2+ hours we've ever spent. It seemed like Division I just started, and we're already on the last and final division. It's a great parade.
You've been watching the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 parade right here from South Main Street in Wallingford, Connecticut. It's been quite an honor to be here with everyone. I want to thank everyone who worked hard today, Susan and Kurt Hunzinger, Sharon Keselowski, our president of WPAA, Catherine Robinson, who directed the action, Russell Stiles, our station manager, Peter Foster, Walt Speedy Hoffman, and Jason Burkhardt, our camera people, Ken Costello, our technical director, and I hate to leave anybody out. Am I leaving anybody out? Kenny Blakesley?
Audra? Our friend Audra?
And the rest of the WPAA staff. Oh, check that. Lori Madonna. I'm being yelled at over here by the directors. Lori Madonna, who did some great camera work for us as well.
And Dee Cook for those fine interviews.
Excellent job, Edward. Dee Cook, who did some terrific interviews for us.
She did.
So, Ed, that's going to wrap it up. 3 months in the making, and it's over.
John, should we make a date for Jubilee 3000?
I think we will, but I don't think we're going to be sitting up here.
Perhaps not.
So for everybody on our WPAA staff, this is John Sullivan.
And Edward McCarver.
All the best from the Wallingford Jubilee 2000 Millennium Day Parade. Thanks for watching, everybody. So long.